We came from a very small town of 500 population.
Becoming farmers, truck drivers, that's not really the life for us, man. In New Zealand, hell no, you can't do that.
I feel like we was always like outsiders, freestyle.
Yeah.
Like a lot of videos, we freestyle everything.
Of course, there are benefits to both. I would say New Zealand's better in terms of
What's up from New Zealand right now?
hello.
Somewhere completely different from, Southeast Asia. And yeah, today we just wanted to talk about the differences between New Zealand and Thailand.
At the same time, show you guys where we grew up. Like, this is literally where we grew up, our childhood. No one around, no neighbors.
You guys don't know, we came from a very small town of 500 population in the west coast of New Zealand. And that's where, we grew up for over, 16, 18 years.
Every day we used to come down here. We used to play cricket over here, actually. I used to hit a lot of sixes right here, you know what I'm saying? We had to pick up tennis balls from this grassy patch area right here. So that was cool. That was our childhood right there.
There's a river over there. We used to swim. I think growing up, we always knew that even though this is our childhood, our life, we knew it wasn't for us.
It was just very people, all they were looking forward to was becoming farmers,
truck drivers.
That's not really the life for us, man. We wanted something more. We wanted something bigger outside of New Zealand, outside of this town at least.
At the same time, this will always be, our home, our roots. So we'll never forget where we came from.
Social life here, literally there's probably 3 shops in the town we come from where you can hang out, you could say, and everything closes before 6 p.m. Very quiet, so there is really no social life. And compared to Thailand's places open at 5 p.m. You go out, people start going out after 6. So it's not only Thailand, to be honest, even Hong Kong when we lived there.
Asia.
So that was one of the main reasons why, we chose Asia, man.
I think Thailand specifically, you probably know the story. We left our jobs in the corporate life and we're just watching YouTube, and we discovered a lot of videos from a lot of YouTubers and discovered that cost of living and the quality of life is a lot different and higher over there. We chose Thailand to start things off. Our plan was to try to move around Asia, but 6-7 months later we got a long-term visa in Bangkok, so yeah, we'll be there for a little bit.
Just I think the mindset of people here in New Zealand, especially our town, is work, go back, family life, maybe invest in a house. Very stable, very predictable. But for us, the people that we're meeting in Asia is they want to become millionaires. They want to create content, create their own brands, and travel, more open to seeing the world, which is more of what we want in our life. I know it's not for everyone, but for us, man, it's definitely way better in Asia. Check this out.
This is where we used to come here almost every night for a run, play cricket, bike around, swim in the river. This is our childhood right here. So these trees here, I think my dad planted them 20 years ago. And now look at them, they're huge. So yeah, this is not really comparing the standard big city life versus Thailand. More of our life, which is from the countryside of New Zealand, so something completely different. So yeah, even though we come from this place, we do prefer a place a bit more lively. As you guys know, we lived in Hong Kong for around 8 years. So I feel we prefer that sort of faster pace of lifestyle where shops are open longer. There's more things to do during the day and night time as well.
Thailand's got a good contrast of this because it's got a slow pace of life like New Zealand, but with the hectic city life of Hong Kong. So it's got a good combination of both of these. Why, yeah, Thailand's pretty underrated in terms of that sense.
Always just something going on in Bangkok, whether it's concerts or events, night markets, sporting events. There's random pop-up events, pop-up shops. So many things going on every single day, and I think you definitely don't get that in New Zealand. If you're lucky, it's once every festival period. So that's what we love about Bangkok.
And although it is very country here, you can get places like this in Thailand. if you go to like the Isan rural areas. We haven't been there yet, but that's one of our plans to head there. Hopefully so.
Job opportunities, like as influencers, you can see no one's here. There's not many job opportunities in terms of creating content. Whereas Bangkok, there's stores opening every day. People want promotions here and there. People are always asking for influencers to market their services. So a lot more opportunities in terms of content creation, opposed to here.
We can only like promote farmers' product, daily dairy products, milks. But even there, Auckland is even not a lot of work for influencers. You can do a bit, but like compared to Bangkok, there's so much more over there.
Growing up in this small town, 500 people, we were the only Asians here. There's always that disconnect with the locals, and we always felt out of place. So that's why New Zealand, even though it is where we was born and raised, I don't know if we consider it our true home.
Playing sports, we were always the only cricketers on the field, rugby players. It was cool. Like it really integrated us into the community. Like they're not that racist, to be honest, but they're just little moments here and there, like, you know, getting selected for like the regional teams when we know we deserved it. We hit every single records in the town. People know we were obviously the best
in the region, for sure.
And like even like 100-meter sprinting, we'll hit records. Athletics, everything, all the sports. There's still no recognition there. So man, that's just a little bit of discrimination there, I feel.
Yeah, and that's a bit of insights. Growing up in the countryside in New Zealand with 500 people.
Let's check out the river. We got a river.
So we used to come here swimming, fishing, kayaking. Check it out. This is literally our backyard. Literally. Look at this.
Wow. So when we lived in Hong Kong, we used to come back once a year, and man, it was just good to come back here and like feel the fresh air.
Look at that ocean.
Sometimes we used to swim here, but right now it's like a super cold time of the year. So I would do a cold plunge.
Maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow. And it's weird because we grew up here with this river, and we never knew how beautiful it was until we saw the world, like traveling around Europe, Asia, and we never appreciated this, which is our backyard, only until like our 20s we realized that, man, our backyard is like a haven. It's like a heaven for a lot of people.
Next thing we want to talk about is cost of living, man. Although we used to think like pies were cheap, they used to be like $1 or $2. But coming here in 2025, pies are like $8 now.
Crazy.
7, 8, sometimes $9 to $10. Compared to Thailand, the food there, Grab is very convenient there. I mean, you can buy meals for like 70 baht, delivered straight to your home, hot. In New Zealand, hell no, you can't do that.
And I remember the days when dinner here would be, you know, $9, $10 if you're lucky. Now you're looking at 18, 20, 25 minimum, which is at least, 400 baht for the same meal what you're getting in Thailand. Maybe not even as good in terms of taste.
We went to the supermarket the other day. I think 4 tomatoes was like 15 New Zealand or something down those lines. And I think in Thailand, man, you could get 4 tomatoes for like $1 or something. Don't quote me on that, maybe a couple bucks.
Yeah. And eggs is like, I think minimum 15, 16 for a dozen. Thailand, you can get a dozen for like
a couple bucks.
Yes, New Zealand does have some good meat, good fresh milk, and definitely dairy products. But if you're looking for the overall, quality, bang for your buck, there's just no comparison.
And I think that really goes down to, you see this social problem happening in New Zealand where the poor are not able to afford healthy foods because vegetables are so expensive. So that they opt for fast foods, which naturally, see the health ratios of the poor are getting more of the diseases just because they can't afford that. That's another thing, like health. We feel healthier in Thailand because we could afford everything so easily. Of course we can here, but like, it just feels better over there.
And then of course you talk about accommodation, man. Bangkok, well, we got this 600 square feet, 2-bedroom apartment,
luxury condo
with all the amenities. You're getting it for like 1,100 New Zealand dollars per month.
That's $250, $260 a week.
Yeah. Now in New Zealand, maybe the houses are bigger, but you're paying the same price, bi-weekly, which is insane.
Well, we did live in Hong Kong, which is on another level.
Hong Kong is that's a different story.
More expensive than New Zealand, which is why we love Thailand. Like you get the Hong Kong luxury condos for a quarter of the price of New Zealand. Imagine that, and you get the food, lower costs, and another thing is travel. Bangkok's a great gateway to travel to all of the other Southeast Asia or Asian countries. And New Zealand is so isolated, so we saw ourselves only traveling once a year. We would save up our whole annual leave one time a year. Thailand, it's like, oh, we could just go to Philippines.
Yeah, over the weekend. We go to Vietnam. We did that in Hong Kong as well. So it's actually more of an Asia thing, but Thailand's the number one most visited country, and I believe this year, 2025, and last year, and the year before that. So yeah, it's a great place to, you know, situate and then travel abroad. In the city where we come from, to fly domestically to Auckland, which is where all the international flights are, that costs the same price as Bangkok to, you know, you can go to Japan. So a domestic flight in New Zealand is actually more expensive than flying across Asia from Bangkok. So that just doesn't make sense for us. That just doesn't make sense. Overall, we pay roughly 1,200 USD per month living in Bangkok. If we were to live here, it'd be easily at least two to 3,000, and that's living very safe and trying to save on a lot of the foods and stuff. But over in Bangkok, we're buying great food, having coffees every day, living a good life over there.
Speaking of coffees, I did notice one thing good about New Zealand. The coffees are actually pretty affordable compared to Asia. Coffee's around $5 here, which is 25 Hong Kong, which is about, well, I'll put the numbers right here. Thailand, actually coffees in some places is like 150, 180 baht, which is actually getting up there, to be honest. That's above New Zealand coffee prices. Yeah, that's one observation from us is coffees in New Zealand, thumbs up. The rest, I would give it to Thailand.
It's actually like 3 degrees right now, I think.
Yeah, it's super cold.
So it's actually colder than it looks.
What's funny is Kiwis wear shorts and t-shirts in this weather.
I think normal people have like heavy as, you know, winter jackets, but Kiwis, we don't really do that. Yeah, got my jandals on.
Check out this unique tree right here. Have you ever seen a tree fall over like that and start growing sideways? Well, here you have it.
And then starts growing up. That's crazy, right?
Like you have stumps. Man, this is, I don't know, have you seen another tree like that? Comment down below if you have.
This is one of our stomping yards where we used to climb around and
hang around, sit around, throw rocks in the river right here.
We also want to talk about our identity here. I think we touched on that previously. Yeah, again, even though this is home, I don't think it's going to be a place for us long term in terms of where we're going to be living for the next 20 years. We are country boys at heart. At this time of our lives, we feel like somewhere a bit more lively, aka Asia. But it's where we belong right now.
There is a small percentage of Asians in the West that come from small towns. I haven't seen anyone as small as ours, to be honest. Well, that's portrayed online. I'm sure there are. But us coming from a town of 500, we're talking about 500 people. You can't imagine growing up as twins. Not only twins, we were Asians. We were the skinny, scrawny kids.
As well, we was also not actually situated in the town. We were like 10 minutes drive outside in the middle of nowhere in the mountains.
I'm sure there are other Western Asians that grew up like this. And it'll be good to meet you guys because I'm sure there's a niche community there. But 500 is another level, and I think that's kind of shaped us as well because we always had the underdog mindset of like discrimination, so it made us work harder. So every time we do business or we play sports or now we're doing content, we always try to take it to the next level because we always got that underdog mentality.
And I think that will always be instilled in us, you know, forever because just the way we grew up, it's a crazy childhood.
It's a huge underdog story. Like we were never supposed to make it out. We were supposed to be like farmers here, maybe work at the grocery store, have a family, truck driver,
sheep shearer.
Man, that's just not the way for us.
Builder. And not only just underdog, I feel like we was always like outsiders. We never fit in with the cool kids here in this town. We was never invited to the parties, right? I don't know why. And not only here, when we went to university, we were never sort of in the cool crowd because we was always different because of our childhood.
But just coming from town of 500, we've accomplished quite a few big things. Like we represented the whole New Zealand in a K-pop competition as a duo. Like that does not happen to two kids from a countryside town. We made it to Hong Kong and survived there. We got high-paying corporate roles. We weren't supposed to make it there. We became dancers, international dancers, representing New Zealand and like Las Vegas, Australia, and more. That was never supposed to happen.
It's basically like everything we set our mind to, we always go beyond. And that comes from our childhood because we're always...
This comes from this area.
Because we're always not really looked down upon, but we always feel like we need to work twice as hard as people. If you have that kind of effort, you're going to strive in anything you go for, right?
Rock over to these trees, goalposts, you call it. We used to play soccer here and use these as goalposts. Like, man, check that out there.
Mountain.
Our whole backyard, bro.
Final spot for today. Final spot.
Our SD card just ran out of memory, so we're in another spot now. But I was saying, Thailand, we don't have that much pressure. I feel like we don't have the underdog, like, oh, we have to thrive and go double as hard, because everyone's just really chill there. And they're just trying to enjoy life, not really compete. Like they don't have that Hong Kong work mentality.
Since there's so many other creators, a lot of them actually come from a similar background to us, where they're sort of also like outsiders from their own countries, or they had a rough childhood, lost their job. So I feel like we can relate to these guys more, and we can actually help each other strive for good things.
There's a lot of people starting businesses and have like established investments and then moved over to Thailand. So it's good to meet. It's good to meet a lot of these people where you can't meet these high achieving mindset people in this town. So I think over there, just surrounding yourself with these people really like elevates yourself to another level. So Thailand really has a lot of these people. So we love that.
We're going to continue to try to meet these kind of people, whether they're watching now or whether we have to DM them, because it's going to help us grow, help us make new friends, and just experience new things in Thailand. Cultural wise, like I feel like even though we're New Zealanders, and it's not just a Thailand thing, it's in Asia, where we look like them, right? So naturally they sort of don't really stare at you as much.
Here it's like they stare for no reason. It's like the other day we're just getting some money out, getting some sushi, and a bunch of these Kiwi kids just like said a bit of not racism,
just saying some things which we shouldn't say on this. And I think they felt like we were like fresh off the boat, sort of Asians, not able to speak English.
But we get that so much, we're like kind of used to it. It's like, come on now.
Come on, we're probably more Kiwi than these guys. Whereas in Asia,
you don't get that.
We look like Thais, we look like Hong Kongers, we look like Singaporeans, so we don't get that, I guess, racism, not racism, but
racism.
That sort of speech from others.
The random people,
But it's also kind of weird at the same time, because right now we're not really fully adapted in the Thai culture. It's kind of a weird mix where, we look like them, but we're not, obviously. Over here in New Zealand, we don't look like them, they treat you a bit differently, so we kind of don't belong anywhere. It's kind of hard to explain, right?
But it's not only us. We know a lot of Western Asians feel this way, which is why we want to connect more with these people in Thailand. There's a lot of these in Thailand.
New Zealand will always be home. Thailand, I don't know if we can call that our home for now, because we've just lived there for about 5-6 months. It's weird to say that Bangkok feels more like home.
Hong Kong also feels more home than New Zealand, because we lived there
quite a long time. This is a random yap video. We weren't even supposed to have filmed this today. We were just like, we had some comments in our YouTube videos.
They want to see our life here.
We want to see a bit of New Zealand. Bring out the camera. We didn't script anything. We just freestyle. Like a lot of videos. We freestyle everything.
Thailand has been amazing, but not only that, Philippines has been amazing. Asia's been amazing.
Hong Kong's been amazing.
Hong Kong. But if you're comparing New Zealand versus Thailand, of course there are benefits to both. I would say New Zealand's better in terms of if you really want a stable, predictable life, fresh air.
Good dairy products.
You want a little bit more out of your bang for your buck. Maybe more job opportunities, quality of life, cost of living, travel opportunities. The list goes on. Then I would choose Thailand. Right now, Thailand outweighs New Zealand a little bit. Overall, that's sort of our comparison.
There's a term in New Zealand they call the Kiwi dream, which is what he said, have a house, have a family, have some kids, and live the simple life, Kiwi life, which is nothing wrong with it. That is something
that's great.
everybody should strive
A lot of our
towards.
friends are like that already.
But we're built different. We're from this place. We're here to strive for something different.
Bangkok really is an amazing city, full of vibrant people. Not only Thais, but you do get international people from Taiwan, Korea, France, Europe, America. So such a diversity that you can't really get in a town of 500. The only diversity you see in this town is us.
This wasn't even a planned video, so if we don't get views, it doesn't
okay.
really matter.
It's okay.
We're just yapping here. So if you guys enjoyed that, click like,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Do follow us on our social medias.
Yeah. Are you also Asian brought up in the West? Comment down below.
Yeah.
I would love to connect with you guys, share your stories, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video.
Let's go. And I'm freezing right now.